How y'all doing, YouTube? I know, it's been quite some time since I last posted. As y'all probably know, if you followed me for a minute, I travel all over this country. I've been extremely busy between my workout programs and my job. I've been here in the past 7-8 months. I've been from New York to Colorado to New England to a new position where I was literally traveling on the weekly, Monday through Friday. I'd be traveling to a different state, from one state to another state to another state. Hell, multiple states in a week, doing pre-delivery inspections. So, been very busy as per usual. But that's not the only reason why I have been making content. I haven't been making content because I've really been taken aback about what's happening towards the community. Especially these past 6 months. Really has been going on what seems to be for the past year. But the past 6 months, it seems to have really been ramped up. And I'm talking about all these anti-LGBTQ legislation, particularly anti-trans legislation that has been passed. It's particularly in ultra-conservative states such as Tennessee and Florida, and even in my home state, Kentucky. Anti-trans and anti-drag legislations. Trying to outlaw trans people, trying to erase trans people yet again. And, you know, in the past of this YouTube channel, I haven't really been very political. I might make a statement here and there towards the political agendas that be, but honestly, I didn't have a huge focus on it because maybe I was naive, but when I first began this channel, it was a couple of years ago, I thought y'all were winning it as far as legislation was going. I thought the trans community pretty much had it. And the last leg of the race was the social stigmas and stereotypes that still existed. And that's what I was focused on, individuality. I was trying to focus on people thinking more for themselves, both people outside the community and in the community as well, to think for themselves, to have more peace of mind, to be more accepting of themselves, because a lot of discrimination, hate, it comes from a deep within, a self-loathing of some sort within the person. Self-hatred because, hell, maybe a lot of these guys are attracted to the dolls, as they say. Or maybe there's something else going on within them that they are hating on. And they hate to see somebody living their truth, living in their freest version of themselves because they can't do it themselves. So, well, if I'm being oppressed because of this, they should be oppressed too. And that's what my main focus was trying to dispel that. If you look back at some of my content, my videos like being afraid of the old man. I talk about how I am afraid of my older version of myself. And I'm not going to get too far into it. If you want to check it out, go scroll back in my feed. Or 9-dot thinking, where I put out this puzzle as a perfect representation of thinking outside the box, not only in your career, but in yourself and in your and how you view things. Think outside the box. All this was focused on the individual, what I believe to be the core of the problem, the individual person themselves. I mean, yeah, duh, right? But too many people focus on things outside of that. I was trying to focus on the individual themselves. So again, I thought the legislation was already either underway of being in place, or depending on what state you were in, pretty much already in place. But now we're stepping backwards. And that is disturbing. Children are being ripped away from their parents because either the parents are trans or the children are trans. And I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the gray lines of what it is to be trans and transition and so on and so forth. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about that on that today. I will touch on it, but there will be more said on this. But all of these have been hitting me, you know, along with other personal things I had going on in the family. A lot of my family ended up in the hospital, either having surgeries or emergency surgeries. I had a death in the family. So all this has been hitting me, and I didn't want to make a video in a highly emotionally charged state. Didn't want to do that. Because, again, I don't want to misrepresent the community. My community of men who are openly attracted to and date transgender women. I did not want to misrepresent us, the guys, transamorous men. Which leads me to my next topic of people in the community, the trans community. Quit letting idiots and people seeking attention represent you all. That's part of the problem. That's not the main problem. That's part of the problem. You are giving ammo to the far right to pass laws and to give great examples against you. You're giving them all kinds of, you're not giving them, you're allowing people misrepresent you, which gives the far right ammo against you. That's what's happening. Now, is that the main reason why all these laws are being? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're giving them ammo. You're helping them by allowing idiots who aren't truly trans speak on your behalf through social medias or publicly. You got to quit. You got to start holding people accountable. And there's this weird protection amongst the community. Oh, they're my sister. They're my brother. I can't speak out. And the ones that do speak out against them, you all shun them. Because the person who is a transgender or who isn't truly representing you is a gatekeeper of some sort. And they're gatekeeping, basically. And they're shutting up the ones who are speaking out against them. I see it happen all the time, and it's fucked up, and it needs to stop. That's part of the fucking problem. It's part of the fucking problem. You're giving them ammo because you're dividing yourselves. And it's so much easier to pick off a minority if they go from a group of 10 and they split off. 3 over here, 2 here, 3 over here, and a couple of singlets run. It's easier to pick them off. And that's what's happening in the community. You're dividing yourselves and you're allowing misrepresentation to happen. I'll give a good example of this. Ben Shapiro. He has this YouTube, I don't know if it's YouTube or I don't think it's TikTok, YouTube channel where he reacts to other people's videos on YouTube and TikTok. And there was this person on there who was claiming they were trans, but they were not. Maybe they can claim non-binary, that's fine. But they were claiming they were a transgender woman. But without actually claiming it, but they were claiming it. And this is what I mean. This person went on some sort of social media. They were white or they were of some sort of race that was light complected. And they claimed that they were a non-binary femi transgender woman goddess of some sort. They had a really long explanation. But they're in a lot of contradictions. My pronouns are ze, they, them on paper, but when you speak them, and this person made, I shit you not, a Wookiee sound coming from deep within their throat. And that's how you need to address me when you address me by my pronouns, because my pronoun, when you pronounce it, is insert Wookiee sound here. These are the people that the far right use. They put them up on display. Best camera lighting, all spick and span and shiny. The far right puts them up front and center. They make these people the poster children of the transgender community. Say, this is what transgender is all about. The majority of the trans community would say that person's mentally ill or they're doing it for attention. Because on top of that, this person looks so crazy. Like I said, I had to mention that they were light complected because they almost looked like they were black. Because they had so much tattoos covering their body that it went beyond the form of self-expression and art to look at me, look at me, look at me, woo, look at me. All these fucking tattoos. And their eyes. I don't know if they had a contact in or contacts in their eyes. And I've heard of bizarre stories of people actually getting the whites of their eyes tattooed black. But their eyes look completely black, about as black as my sunglasses right now. And they had gauges. Not in their ears, but also in their nose. They literally, this right here, see, this is called skin. This is on the side of my nose, right? That's normal. This person had gauges on the side of their nose that they all this didn't exist. They had a small thin layer of skin right here to make up the nostrils, and then all this was like a giant hole. If they ever had allergies, that would be one disgusting mess running down the side of their cheek. They basically stuck out as much as they possibly could. They were wearing different clothing from what seemed to be different cultures. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's all one culture, but seemed to be wearing clothing from culture from the Middle East to Africa to Europe. I mean, all kinds of contradictions all over their body. And that's one of the many examples the far right puts. Oh, this is the people they pick to represent you all, and a lot of you all stay quiet. And you don't speak out against them going, no, we don't claim them. Or, no, they're... Some of you all are, but the majority aren't. Now, there's also differences on what it is to be a transgender woman, what it is to transition. We got to stop doing so much gatekeeping. Now, sometimes gatekeeping is necessary when it comes to extreme examples of these trenders. People who transition because it's trendy. Not because they're suffering from gender dysphoria, but they just want the attention. They see all the attention the community is getting. Start holding these people accountable. And then also, people who are legitimately trans, but also still seeking out attention. I'll give another example. This is a personal example. I ran into this person. This person does OnlyFans, right? And that's not what I'm talking about. The issue is here, right? The issue that I had with this person as far as they had 15,000 followers. 15,000. And they would post things on their social media that stated, she said, this guy is treating me nice and with all kinds of respect, and I can't call him out for being a transphobe or for being mean or whatever. And she had a bunch of sad emojis and stuff like that, and she was playing off as she was irritated. I called her out for that shit. I'm like, you have 15,000 people following you, and you're putting that out there. That's just only further convincing people who know nothing about the community, who might just be scrolling by, and they see your shit, and you post that. That makes you look fucking crazy. And they're all like, well, it was a joke. It was a joke. Okay, I get that. But there is no you didn't put like an LOL, JK, JK. You literally just left it open. You made fun of this guy for treating you with respect and treating you as the woman you are. You were making fun of him, and you did not indicate that it was a joke. Most of your followers who directly follow you, who see your personal post, know it's a joke, but you had this particular post open to the public, and they could not view your personal shit. And you made this joke. That is a misrepresentation. And I called her out, and then a bunch of her sisters were calling me out saying, what the hell do I know? I'm a cis man. I'm this and that. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not a true ally. I'm a fake ally. You're shooting yourselves in the fucking foot by allowing shit like that to happen because you give the far right more ammo. And people scrolling through who might be honestly trying to educate themselves on what the situation is, they see that and they go, it is a mental illness. Oh my God, look at they're mentally ill. Oh my God. A lot of that needs to stop. Stop allowing people to misrepresent you and start holding people in the community accountable. Quit giving them ammo. Stop giving them ammo. Stop, I beg you. A lot of that has been bothering me lately, and it's only getting worse. And that's only making it worse for you all. And stop attacking people who are truly trying to help the community, trying to rid the community of stigma. I know of several content creators who just said, I'm out, fragging out, I quit. Because they were getting attacked. Mainly by women. It's going to sound catty, but it's the truth. Mainly by women who wanted to be with that content creator, but he didn't want to be with her. So she went off and canceled him. I'm not going to name any names. We're not getting into that. We're not doing that. Just know that it happens. Or they try to cancel it by making up stories. on that person. Or they try twisting their content in a negative light. I've had this happen to me, not because this chick wanted to get with me, but because I guess she has some sort of psychological trauma when I said in a video I was going through a breakup where I hurt her, she hurt me, I hurt her, she hurt me. Now, listen to the words I said. I hurt her, she hurt me. I hurt her, she hurt me. That's what I said. You should never smack or put your hands on a woman. You should never put your hands on a woman. How could you do such a thing? And I'm like, did I say I put hands on her? No, I said hurt. Not hit, not smack, not punch. I said hurt. And I was referring to an emotional type of hurt in the relationship. And I got on to her and I was like, it's bullshit, your reaction, putting that in my comment section. You're trying to inject misinformation about my damn YouTube video. And I called her out in the comment section, chewed her out, because I was holding her accountable. And she sent me a personal message on Messenger. It was like, well, I guess you just hate me now. I'm like, no, I had to call you out because people are going to see that and think that's what that video was about. No, we're talking emotional hurt. And yes, it was wrong of me to do the emotional hurt. And to clarify, it was in a dating, romantic relationship. And there's many different ways emotional hurt can happen. That's all I'm going to state about that. You don't need to know my fucking business. That was unintentional or intentional. And then we're not going to say which either. So, to recap, stop allowing people to misrepresent the community. This channel, I didn't want to do it, but I'm going to have to, because like I said before, I'll focus mainly on the individual. But now it's going to turn more political, because we need more people speaking out against this, because this is dire what's going on, what's happening to the community. The community is losing its rights left and right. There are people fleeing states because they're afraid to walk down the street, or they'll get locked up. They'll lose their personal freedom. And it's fucked up that it's happening. And I don't know about you all, but it really caught me off guard. I thought we pretty much had the legislation. But that's all I'm going to say for now. There'll be more to come. Please. And I'm probably getting a lot of backlash. I'm prepared for it from the community. But share this video to anyone you think needs to hear it and see it. Stop with the misrepresentation of yourself and stop allowing people who aren't truly in the community, like that trans goddess, insert Wookiee sound here, type of people to represent you all. That's what the right is using against you. Stop it. Stop the madness. I believe in you all. I believe in women of trans experience, transgender women. I love the fuck out of you all. You know, I risk my job, losing out on job opportunities. I have lost out on job opportunities because of discrimination, but it's worth the risk to me because I believe in this cause. I believe in you all. And I believe you are being ran the fuck over by the very politicians you think are protecting you, like Biden. Oh, and a small side note, I don't like Biden nor Trump, so I'm more of a purple individual. You have the blue and the red. I'm more purple than anything. So, yeah, I think the majority of all politicians are fucked up. Fuck them all. Thank you very much. I'm not anti-government, but I am anti-constriction and control. We'll get into that later on, or maybe not. It's my personal views, but whatever. Stop allowing misrepresentation. And I've said this several times in this video, but some people need to hear it more than once. But anyhow, that concludes my first video that I have posted in a long time. Again, feel free to share this to anyone you think needs to hear this message. I thank you all for following. I'm sorry if I hurt any feelings, but it's the truth. I see it every day, the misrepresentation. And again, I'm going to be covering more on this topic matter. I feel more and more people need to speak up who aren't directly in the community themselves. I'm not directly in the community. I just date women in the community. Anyhow, I'm done talking. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. It is Mother's Day 2023. Hug your mothers. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe out there. Peace.